welcome back to my channel. Selena here, and you are watching So Small Somerset. I'm here today to talk to you about my makes from February. I like to film my makes video a little later into the next month, as it really gives me a chance to look back over what I've made, think about what I liked, what I didn't like, and really evaluate each project. I did really well in February for such a short month, and for having 3 days off for a course. I managed to get 6 items made, which I thought was really good going for myself. They were 6 items by 3 pattern companies. So I'll start with the first make I made for February, which was the Sew Over at London heather dress. Now, I had originally planned to do this as a sew along, and in all honesty, I filmed it as a sew along, but I had such a nightmare with my overlocker that I think I've managed to deduce she's got to the point where she really needs to go in and see somebody, but we're not in a position to do it. I had to keep rethreading it, it kept cutting out, eventually the needle broke. I then moved it on to my sewing machine, and then the bobbin ran out, and I was flustered, and I didn't feel comfortable in what I recorded in order to show it to you guys, which is why I've deleted those videos. But I am pleased with the final outcome despite all of those little hiccups throughout the make. I made the heather dress in this scuba-esque knitty, it's definitely a jersey fabric I got in that big D-stash I purchased last year. It's a double-sided fabric, it's black on one side and it's purple on the other. The good thing about the heather dress is one of the options is to have it as a colour blocked dress. So the heather dress, I'll put pictures up here, is a princess seamed knit dress with pockets on the front. So obviously the seams run down the front and they curve round to your hips. So the 2 options for the dress are you have it all as one colour, or you can colour block it. As you can see in my photo, I went for black on the sides and black sleeves with the purple running down the centre of the dress. The fabric is perfect for the heather dress. The heather dress is always a popular one this time of year with Sew Over It makers because it's very much a nice wintry make. And this dress fits it so well because I am so cosy, I'm so comfortable in it because it is quite that little bit thicker than maybe like a softer jersey like this one. So really pleased with how that came out. I made a size 12 as I normally do in a Sew Over It pattern, but I did feel for this one I had to take it in. So I had about an inch or so on each side. It might have been a case of the fabric not quite having as much stretch back, so then it didn't kind of tighten, fit you in the kind of more cozy, closest knit style that I wanted when I made the dress. So I took it in on both sides from under the arms down through to the hem, and actually now it's a really nice comfortable make, and for me as someone who's always a little bit cold, I'll be wearing it a lot longer, very much into the spring, maybe early summer, depending on the sort of British weather we get this year. So make 1, very pleased with that one. Make number 2, I was really honoured to take part in another pattern test for the wonderful Faye over at Studio Jepson. Faye this month designed and released an amazing jumper pattern. It's called the Wow Jumper, and it's wow due to its statement sleeves. The sleeves, as you can see in the picture I'll put up, have this amazing ruffle detail. To say, like I said, I was honoured to be part of this pattern test. I think she had quite a few people, and the versions that came out in the testing group were all amazing. You can see if you go look at the hashtag over on Instagram, all of the different varieties you can get out of this pattern. I made mine in my leftover Ponte knit I had for my Billy dress from January, but I only had enough to do the bodice. So I had to work on what I needed to do for the frill and for the cuffs and the neckband. Faye suggests using ribbing for that part of the pattern, and I only have one colour of ribbing, and it is this bright yellow ribbing that I have left over from when I made a jumper for my daughter for Halloween last year. And as much as I suppose for some people a bright yellow cuffing on blue would have been perfect, for me it just wasn't working, and I knew that I probably could have made it up in it. I had enough to finish the outfit, but I wouldn't have worn the jumper, and I was like, I'm not going to sit here and make something for something I'm not going to wear. So I had another rifle through my stash, and I stumbled across this amazing scuba. So this was left over from a skirt I made early on, I think in 2020, could have been 2019. I've had it a wee while. and I checked the stretch percentage of the scuba versus the rib I have, and they were so pretty much the same. So I thought, this is perfect. I love how the blues and the oranges and that complement the blue of the main fabric I'd already chosen. So I went with that, and I love the jumper. I've emphasised it with a little iron-on statement on the front, and I've written wow, because I just love it. I knew as I was making it up I wanted to put some heat transfer vinyl onto the front, and I initially thought I'd go big and do a big wow, but I thought that would have then been maybe one step too much with the sleeves, so I stuck with just the mini wow on my chest, of which my sister thought it was a shop bought jumper, so I will take that one as a win. Faye's instructions are amazing. I love reading her instructions. As someone in the pattern group said, it's like there's someone there holding your hand. And if you really do get stuck and you really don't understand anything, her customer service is amazing. So do go check out Faye's shop and her patterns. If you've watched my videos for a while, I also tested the t-shirt pattern, the ladies' tee pattern for Faye last summer, and I was also part of the children's t-shirt that got released around Christmas. So she's got some great patterns coming out, some great ideas. I think she's even murmured about a beginner's dressmaking or beginner's sewing book, so really do go follow her and go keep an eye out for that. The next make I made in February was my Sew Over It Giselle hack. So for Valentine's Day, which is the day before Valentine's Day, which is the 13th of February, Pigeon Wishes organised a pink and red internet party, and she encouraged people to grab out from their wardrobes or hit their stash and see if they can make an outfit in a pink and red style. Not really actually having much pink and red, as much as pink as my room is, I don't actually have a lot of pink and red me-made clothing in my wardrobe. So I took this as an opportunity to have a look around, and I picked up some fabulous fabric from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn. And I really love this red. And I just, in my head, I could see how this dress was working out. I kind of wanted it close fitting, pop out at the bottom, slightly 1920s flapper-esque. So I based my dress on the Sew Over It Giselle. I made a pattern alteration to the neckline based on when I made this dress previously. So this is my second version of this dress. And the shoulder gaped across the back. So I did 2 little darts into the top of the seam, and that eliminated all that problem. So I was really pleased with that. And then I cut the pattern off just above the knee, which is then where I added the flounce at the end. So I've created a shorter, flouncier version. But I love this. The fabric is amazing. I wore it out shopping. Good old Lidl. That's as much as we can get out at the moment in lockdown. Yeah, I just really pleased with how it came together. It was a great fabric to work with. I've taken lately to using pinking shears to finish my edges, particularly because Madame Lover here is playing up. I think it's a quicker way for me in order to finish seams, especially because the Giselle dress is princess themed. Again, it's panelled skirt, so there's a lot of edges to finish, and that means potentially using up a lot of extra thread. So I thought I'm going to pinking shear, and I've done it on quite a few makes I've made, as well as some of the makes I've made this month. So definitely an option. If you don't have a pair of pinking shears, get them, and it's for finishing edges. It can be so much quicker and nice clean finish. So got my Giselle Hat Dress here. Love it. It really goes, the colour of the fabric goes really well with a pair of ruby shoes I have in my cupboard. So I can't wait until actually spring properly hits and we can get out and see people and I can put that outfit together. So very happy with that one. Number 4 for February was a make that has been on my kind of radar for such a long time. This pattern has been out for over a year, and it's the Tilly and the Buttons Indigo, and there's been some amazing versions, but I just wasn't sure about it. I wasn't sure about the oversized kind of looser fitting style. And then last year I saw loads of different versions of it in the ready to wear markets and everything that was going on, and I was more and more intrigued by it, and more I think, maybe I will like it. So I got the pattern for Christmas from my sister and my sister-in-law, and I also got the fabric from a gift from my mum for Christmas, and the two together have just match made in heaven. I had the final push from a couple of ladies on Instagram. Hazel, she'd made a gorgeous shorter top version like I've made, and Angela over at Devon Threadtails has done a sew along on the Tilly buttons, and she did the dress, and she's added the ties into the waist, which now I've made the top version of the pattern. I think I've already got the dress version on my to-do list for my makes for another month, that I would, as a dress, I think I'd add the ties in just to eliminate some of the fabric around the middle, but I don't feel I needed it for the top. So pleased I didn't add them for the top, but definitely would add them for the dress, just like Angela and many others have. But yeah, so the good thing about this pattern is there's lots of different ways to do it to make it your own. So I chose to have the exposed frill seam around the waist, but I went for the plain bracelet sleeve arm. Now with Tilly patterns and with some of the others, I generally have to extend the sleeve by a bit to account for my added height. All of my added height, extra height, is in my legs. So again, with other patterns where I've had to do trousers, I extend the legs. So I often have to extend the sleeves, but most patterns come with a length and shorten line, and I just cut along there. I think I added about 7 centimetres. As you can see with this dress, that would probably have made the difference to make this dress where I want it to go. So I did the same with that one, plain sleeve. There is an option to have a flounce sleeve with an exposed seam. You can have a plain seam, you can have a dress, short dress. There's even an indigo add-on pattern pack now where you can have an extra frill at the bottom to make it a more maxi length dress. So it's a great pattern, lots of versatility to it. So I'm really pleased I finally jumped on that bandwagon and I've gone off on it, and I've made an amazing top that I just love to wear. It fits so well. So very pleased with that one. And I've already got another one, as I've said, added to my list of makes for the future. 2 more makes left for February. We're in March now. My second to last make is an extension of Studio Jepson's Wow jumper pattern that I also got asked to test and fit the mini Wow jumper. So as well as having a woman's, ladies style Wow jumper with big frills, they also released a children's version of the pattern. This one is unisex. You can have the frill or you can omit the frill, and she's made the sleeve not a balloon sleeve like the ladies version is. It's just a standard sleeve, and it is just as cute on the little ones as it is as on us. There's some great if you go look at Gemma, who's the Daily Fred on Instagram, she's got a lovely version of her twinning with her little son in this matching striped pattern. So some great versions of that come out too. And it was another quick, easy pattern, exactly the same makeup as it was for the ladies, so I kind of knew what I was doing, so it didn't take long at all to put it together. And it is made in this gorgeous red sweatshirting that I got from Faye. Oh, it is so soft. I am so jealous. I wish I had more of it so that I could have made myself a jumper and I probably would live in it. It is that soft, that luxurious, which is stocked over in Faye's shop. So if you get a chance, go have a look at that. She's got some other colourways. And it has turned out to be such a lovely jumper. Slightly oversized on my daughter, which I kind of like in a jumper, a little bit looser, and it adds to that cosy comfort feeling. So another great pattern there from Faye. Really pleased with how that one came up. So my last pattern for the month is Stella Joggers. So the Stella Joggers is another pattern from Tilly and the Buttons, and this one is found in her second book, the Stretch book. Now the Stella hoodie is found, a pattern can be found on, was included as part of a magazine subscription, so you may find it out and about with that, but it is definitely included in Tilly's Stretch book. And I like having it in the book because it comes with a lot of extra added information and tutorials that you don't necessarily get with just the standalone pattern. So Tilly instructions are brilliant to follow. Everything you need is in the book with really great picture referenced references for each instruction step you take. Now I have filmed my Stella Joggers after I calmed down. This make was made on the last 2 days of February, so I had plenty of time to just take my time with it, and I filmed this as a sew along for my channel, which I will bring out next week. I've also included some extensions. I adjusted the pattern, as I've mentioned, and I go through everything I did to do that I go through everything I needed to do to get those adjustments made to the pattern in my video, as well as showing you how to make it up. I made a slight adjustment to the pattern. I decided I didn't want to use buttonholes on the front and have a tie. I just went for straight elastic. My elastic isn't as wide as what was suggested in the pattern because I've just not been able to get hold of any. So I sewed kind of two strips of elastic together, and then I stitched that into the waistband and I top stitched it down to give that effect, which I'm really pleased with. And they are so comfortable. If I'm not wearing a jersey dress, I'm in those joggers because they are fabulous. I used this grey sweatshirting fabric that I again picked up from my D-stash from last year, and I'm so pleased. Now I don't have enough of the fabric left over to make a completely matching hoodie, but I do have in my stash this minty colour, and I think the mint and the grey will complement each other really well. And I'm going to try and test myself out with a colour blocked. I'm going to push myself with the hoodie version, so I'm going to complete the Stella pattern. I'm going to go for the Stella hoodie, and I'm going to colour block it in this minty colour, which I will bring so you can't see the sun glare. I've got this minty colour with the rest of the grey, and I think that will make a really great hoodie and complement for those trousers. And then I may never get out of them. Even when we leave lockdown, I think I will be living in that wonderful lounge set. So fully embracing the lounge, sewing your loungewear from lockdown. Number 3, I finished off my Stella joggers. So please hang around at my channel, and hopefully you'll see that one pop up next week. So that brings me on now to, that was my last make. So it brings me on to say, please, if you don't already, subscribe to my channel. I try and endeavour to get a video out every week. And also please go and follow me over on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at SewSmall25. I'm currently documenting my 365 days of sewing, doing really well so far. I'm up to day 76. And yeah, that's me. Please also click the notification bell if you want to hear when my stories come up. That's all for me. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.